Hi everyone, I'm Scott Schneider. This is StereoNiche. Hey, this week it's all about you. Stick around. All right, so let's talk about you. But right before we do, let's talk about me. So what I mean by that is StereoNiche. So I'm coming up on year 2 of StereoNiche, and so I thought I would take a pause and take a look at how I got to where we are now and what started it, and then where it's going to go in the future. So I started StereoNiche because I wasn't finding what I wanted to see myself. And so I grew tired of sort of the same sort of things over and over again, and I just wasn't seeing content that was appealing to me. And most of that was seeing the gear up close, getting a little bit of history about it maybe, and then talking about how did you find it and some of the backstory of things. What's it mean to collect things? As I'm a collector, and so I wasn't getting sort of that aspect. The majority of channels that are out there are mostly videos about new gear, what's hot this week, what's better this week than last week, and so that stuff doesn't appeal to me because I'm not in that sort of arena. The other types of, most of the vintage audio sort of channels are stores that are selling their gear, and that's not my arena either. So for that reason, I started my own channel and wanted to showcase my own collection from my perspective. And so I hope you guys have appreciated it thus far. And I wanted to take a pause and talk a little bit about, what I have been doing, what my focus is, and then maybe where I can go, in the future. So let's talk about what I will continue to do, and that is making videos of individual units. And so I'll always make videos of gear, speakers and turntables and receivers and amps, because that's what I collect and I enjoy it very much. And so I will always have a focus on doing individual gear videos going forward. So it's kind of my bread and butter, if you will. And so that won't change. And I'm planning on keeping sort of the same format where I sort of take do a little bit of an overview of maybe the history of it, maybe how I found it, and then a segment in the middle that showcases what it looks like, because I just love the look of this vintage gear and I want to take some up close pictures of it and video and let you see it, up close, front and back and all around. And then at the end, I put together my scoring system and my ratings, and so I plan on continuing to build on that and then share with you the results of that, not just in the individual videos of the unit, but then also the summaries, top 5, things like that. So that aspect of it, of the channel, I don't believe will ever change. That will be sort of the core of StereoNiche ongoing. The other videos that I will also heavily stay involved in and do are around collecting. I am a collector after all, so I will always do videos related to collecting, what it takes to manage a collection, some things about, to consider if you want to start collecting vintage audio. Some of those types of things, talking to other collectors, so anything around collecting, I think I'll continue to always do videos for that. But then there's other videos that I've started along the way that have found interesting. The videos around advertising, old magazine ads. I've very much enjoyed those. It wasn't something I initially thought about doing, but now that I've started, I very much have enjoyed them because I've learned so much and gotten to see a lot of the history of things that I had long ago forgotten about, or it was even before my time and I discovered by doing those videos. And I think a lot of people have enjoyed them as well. So I plan to continue doing those going forward. There's a lot more years to cover and a lot more ads to review. So that'll also always be, I think, an aspect of some of the videos I create. One of the things I haven't done, and I don't know that I really ever will, are how-to videos. I think there are a lot of channels out there that are already dedicated to doing that, and they're very good at it. Most of these are more technical oriented. I'm not a tech by trade, and I'm not really skilled in being able to get in there and explain to you how to fix something. So for the most part, I doubt I'll do really any how-to videos. There might be some. I do have some plans to do some videos around restoration, some units that maybe need some restoration, so before and after, you know, and how they got to where from being in bad shape to being restored. I do have some plans to do some videos like that. So I plan to showcase those, but in general, I don't know that I'll do too many how-to videos. But if you've got something in mind and there's something you think that you would like to see, let me know. Now, one area that I would like to expand on, I've only had the opportunity to do sort of one, is an interview type video. I've been talking to several folks in from different aspects of vintage audio, and I'm working on lining those up. So those are some future videos that I hope that can materialize, and I hope to get to do more of those. There's a lot of folks that have been around the vintage audio, or actually wasn't vintage when they were in it, and there are a lot of great stories I'd like to capture. So I've been working on getting those lined up, and hopefully can get some of those done and share them with you. People that have been in the industry, or maybe have worked for specific companies, or are other collectors. So I would like to continue doing those. So, hopefully that's something I can put out there for you fairly soon. Now, one thing you probably noticed today is that there's a new video out, and I'm not in it. It's all about the art side of things. I've always enjoyed the look of this vintage gear. I think every piece took a lot of engineering effort and a lot of design effort to build, and I've always appreciated that. Every knob, was designed by someone. Every face plate was designed by someone, and I've always appreciated that. And I thought it took a lot of people to come together to build these individual pieces, and so I've always appreciated it from that aspect. And so that's why I incorporate that segment in my videos to showcase them. And over this 1.5 or 2 years now, I've accumulated a lot of pictures and a lot of footage. And so I thought, why not put that into a video in and of itself? So my wife actually, once a week, about on average, turns on one of these YouTube videos, and it's just background music of mostly jazz, playing in the background, and typically there's just one picture sitting there, and it's some horizon or something. And I'll sit there on occasion and stop and listen to the music, but I'm also looking at my big screen TV wondering how come I can't look at some cool video while I'm listening to some music. So I thought, well, I've got this footage, let me put it to some music and see what people think. So that's what this video is. It's just a background music, and if it's playing, you can also look at some cool video. I think it can get a lot better, but I thought I would give it a go and get some feedback from you guys and see what you think. So that's another area that I would like to continue to expand on. I'm not a professional photographer or videographer, as you can tell. But as my skills get better, I hope to make some better quality videos and photography, and also share that with you, because I think a lot of people that are collectors like me would like to see that. So, it's another area I plan to expand on going forward. And then lastly, it's what else? I'm sure there's other things that you guys would like to see that I haven't even thought of. So if there's something that you've been wondering why someone hasn't done it, let me know what that is. I'd love to hear about it. You can either send me an email, which is listed down below, or put it in the comments below. Either way works just fine. So let me know your feedback, and I'd love to hear from you, all of you, about what types of videos and where you think the channel should go as we do this adventure together. All right, so there is another aspect to StereoNiche, and really any of these, I'll say, YouTube channels. Over time, they get to a point where they extend themselves out to having memberships. Maybe not all of them, but a large portion of them. And so I've been thinking about that, and I've been actually joining and becoming a member of other sites and other channels. And if you're not familiar with that, it's a way of helping support the channel by becoming a member. It's a paid membership, and you get something for being a paid member. And so I've been going through that and sort of going through that experience. And from what I've seen, for the most part, most channels, what you mainly get is early previews or early access, I'll say, to upcoming videos. So you get to see the next video a couple of days or 2 or 3 days in advance. Okay, well, I can't say that to me that's a huge benefit. In some cases, there also have been extended videos. They're not the normal video, and you get to see a little bit more than the regular release video. Okay, well that's not too bad. That's okay. But yet I've personally just felt like I want more. The other part of it is the platform itself. So one thing I'm an experienced kind of guy, and so it's part of my actual professional career is managing customer experience. And so I've can't say that I've been thrilled with the experience that I've had. There's a platform called Patreon, and it works, but to be honest, it's not. To me, it needs more. And for this sort of platform, or this sort of specific niche, if you will, I just think that there's a better way, or there should be more to do. And so that part of it so far hasn't been the best experience. I think there should be more. And so I've been trying to come up with what is that. Some of the things that I've thought about, and some sites have done it where there's live sessions and you can do live streaming, and that's very nice. I think that's something that would be a lot of fun to do. Some other things that I've been thinking about is, and it depends on the platform. I've looked at the YouTube memberships, and there are some badges and little digital things that you get along the way. You get early access, I think, or membership only videos, and that's okay. But that's about it. I think that's about the extent of what you can do. Patreon and other similar platforms allow for similar types of things. They also have the ability to sell merchandise. But that's also the extent, I think, of what most of them offer. What I'd like to do is give a place for people to land at any point in time during the day and sort of build on community a bit. And that requires, I think the only format I've seen is sort of a website. I've been a long-time member of forums, and so I think a forum would be part of it and give people the opportunity to exchange ideas and comments and flesh out a video idea. Maybe take a video that I've done, and then review it basically in the forum, and then add on it. What else could we do? Maybe it was a speaker review and we'd like to see this speaker head to head against another speaker, and talk through that a bit. And I think that adds to it, amongst other things, but that can be one way of building and interacting in a community. So a forum would be one thing to add. Merchandise is something I've seen some folks sell on their platforms. Not sure who wants a StereoNiche hat or shirt, at this point, but maybe down the road, maybe so, I don't know. There could be some other things. There are some items, I won't mention them here, but there are some things that I have thought about having made from a vintage audio guy like me that I would find benefit of, and I think others would too. So there are some specific, I'll say, vintage gear type items that I have looked at getting made, because I think there's a market for them, and I think it would help us in certain aspects. So some of that is some of the sort of merchandise things I've thought of rather than logo type merchandise. So that's another area that I thought that would be exclusive just to members. You'd have to be a member to be able to get to buy those sorts of things. And then one other thing is, and I'm very much thinking hard about how this would work, but coming on site and doing a tour. Coming in, being able to spend a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours, just coming here and seeing my collection and let me walk you through it. I'm not sure how I would figure out who gets to come. That part of it has to be worked out. I couldn't do it, every week, but maybe once a month, some way to do a, let people put their name in a hat somehow, and a digital hat, and draw a name out maybe. And if, you know, you'd obviously have to be able to get here, but you know, something like that. I haven't seen that done before that I've ever noticed, which I think will be fun. I would certainly enjoy it. I can talk vintage audio all day long, every day, so that's not a big deal for me. And I think some people would like that. So that's sort of the ideas I've been bantering about. If you're familiar or have thought about, you know, memberships, let me know your experience, and you know, what you would like to see in a membership, and you know, what would that mean to you to be part of, you know, a member. Now, again, I'll reemphasize, this is not a large percentage of folks who will watch the channel. That's not how it works. This is a very small number of folks, but if it is something of interest for you, I'd love to hear your feedback and what your thoughts are. So that's kind of it. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. I will mention that this video, I don't plan to leave it up. This is just really to get your guys' feedback and input. No sense leaving this video up, you know, for a year when once everything is sort of figured out, there's no need to continue getting input on this. So it is a bit of a limited time video, maybe a month or so. I'll leave it out here, and you guys let me know what you think, and look forward to seeing and reading about your comments.